Chapter 14. They're all going off to a separate meeting, all the full members. I sure don't know what goes on there. I sure sound normal, but the insides are churning. I saw people heading that way, Rachel pointed. Let's see if we can get in close, said. What's going on, Marco asked. I thought we decided everything was normal here. It was Cassie who answered him. Nothing's normal here, can't you feel it? All those so-called full members all being perfectly nice, so perfectly helpful. They're also perfectly normal, it's abnormal. And their eyes are following you, watching you like a hungry dog watching a bone. Creepy, Rachel agreed. To say you took cheerleaders combined with gym leaders and made them drink 10 cups of coffee. They are all just a little too happy, aren't they, Marco admitted. People keep telling me all their problems disappear when they became full members, like it's some kind of cult or something. I'm getting in a secret meeting. I have to know. I have to be dead sure. Let's get away from the fire, over to that lifeguard stand. How are you getting a meeting? Don't worry about some stray dog that's on the beach. Oh. Good idea, Cassie. I'd do it too, only more if I know as a horse. They'd notice that. I checked to see if no one could see us. I waved over my head. A few seconds later, Tobias came swooping down. He landed on the lifeguard stand. What's up? The full mirrors are some private get-together. Do you know where they are? Of course, my eyes can see the mice scammering for a dune grass. Nice, plump, tasty-looking things. Tobias, get a grip. Don't start eating mice in your hawk's body. What's next? Roadkill? He didn't say anything. Maybe he was offended. I thought he'd ever eat roadkill. Or worse, maybe he wasn't offended. Frankly, I don't see the issue myself. I mean, roadkill's kind of gross. But, you know, food's food. Where are the full members, I asked. About 100 yards down the beach, there's a full little bowl-like area filled by dunes, so people posted all around there like guards. I nodded. Good job, Tobias. You've been at by for more than an hour. You need to morph back. Now keep watching a little longer. No, you need to morph back. You don't? We needed to. There's a little problem. I don't exactly have clothes on. Marco has your clothes in a bag. Rachel and Cassie turn away while you morph. Cassie grinned. I'm gonna teach you boys how to morph clothing. Till Tobias hesitated. I hate changing back. It's like going back into a prison or something. I don't like not having wings. Transbird. Tobias, you can always return to hawk morph later. Now come on, both of you. I look at your waist so your delicate boy modesty isn't offended. I took a deep breath. It was only my second morph. This seemed totally ridiculous. I wasn't even thinking about becoming a dog. But as far as I can illustrate, I feel the itchiness and scoring feeling as Homer's DNA combined with the technology and to change me. At the same time, I can see fingers growing from hands at Tobias' rings. Keep a grip in your human side. You can't be chasing cats or whatever. You need to focus on staying in control. I started to say yes, I know, but all it came out was roar, roar, roar. I already changed too much to make human speech. So I thought my answer instead. I know, Cassie, don't worry. But I do worry, she said softly. I noticed her hand with a cold nose she patted my head. I sat up across the sand. Cassie was right to warn me. The dunes, the surf, the low chirping of seabirds, all perfect for distracting my dog brain. I heard something breathing in the seagrass and it broke and ran. I was after it before I could even think. It ran, I chased. I think it may have been a chipmunk or something. I could never be sure because I found a hole and went diving in. I dug frantically for a while. My human brain realized, whoa, Jake, this is not what you're supposed to be doing. Stop it. I must have walked toward a meeting. I hear the murmur of voices. Started creeping closer and I realized I was dumb. Dogs don't creep, they just walk or run. If I were acting like a spy dog, that would make people pay attention. That actually reminds me of this time I was talking to my neighbors, and I was walking my dog at the time, and he seemed to really like the neighbors, so what happened was he just sort of crouched on all fours, like really low, and he just sort of did this weird crawl over to him, and I could tell he was just sort of... Every time he moved, it's like his butt would just shoot in the air, like as he tried to crawl. And it's just so silly. He's trying to be sneaky, and it just can't do that. So yeah, spy dogs would never work. So I wandered along like any dog on an evening stroll on the beach. My tongue lolled in my mouth, my tongue wagged occasionally. The one thing I had to be careful was not letting Tom see me. After all, I looked exactly like Homer. I was Homer. I approached the edge of the area. There were high dunes all around. About 20 to 30 people were standing together. Unfortunately, my weak dog eyes couldn't see them very well, but I could hear them. I could hear them amazingly well. Sounds I would barely notice were as loud as a boombox to, I said on 9. And I could smell. It's funny about smell. As a human, you don't really get into it. But when I lay back on my dog abilities open up, smell became as good as sight. Different, but good for some things. I heard Tom's voice, and I smelled a subtle combination of things that meant he wasn't too far away. There was a man on guard, but all he did was look down at me and look away. No one cares about a stray dog. I was getting to realize why they ain't like giving us this power. There are things you could do as an animal you could never do as a human. The members all seemed to be waiting for someone to arrive, and I heard Tom say, he should be here soon. Wait, here he comes. There's a stirring and muttering. I heard footsteps approach, and I moved closer and stayed out of sight. Out of light. Everyone quiet, and we have problems, the voice said. That voice! I knew that voice. The same one on the construction site. The voice that said, just save the head. Bring it to me. I crept closer. I had to look at him hard to see my dog's side, but then when he turned the right way, I saw him. I recognized him. It was someone I knew. Someone I saw every day at school. None my assistant principal, Chapman. My assistant principal is a controller. Item 1. We still not found the brats in the construction site. I want them found. Visor Free wants them found. Does anyone have any clues? I heard a second voice. It could be anyone, Tom said, but it might be the one who's my brother, Jake. I know he goes to a construction site sometimes. That's why I brought him here tonight. So we can make him ours or kill him. Chapter 15. Either make him ours or kill him. I feel like someone had punched me. It's also that Tom was a controller. Some snotty, slimy slug from another planet using his brain. When we talked, it wasn't even Tom, not really. It was a controller. My brother, one of them. Chapman, one of them. They are everywhere. How are we going to stop them? How can we even try? If they could take my own brother from me, if they could take Tom, how's it going to be able to stop them? It was insane. Marco was right. I think if I'd been fully human right then, despair would overpower me. But dogs don't know how to despair. It was Homer's simple, happy, hopeful mind that saved me. For a while, I just sort of let go and drifted into dog consciousness. I didn't want to think. I didn't want to be human. For a while, I just wandered around and smelled things. But I knew I had a job to do. After a while, I go to simple happiness, a dog forced up back into painful reality. I waited and listened to more of the meeting, but I was still so upset I didn't really track much of what was being said. I kept hearing over and over in my head, make him ours, or kill him. The one day stick was Tom discussing some other guy, the schedule for going to the Yerk pool. He'd just been and was feeling good, he said. He's hanging back Monday night. That was a slug in his head talking. The Yerk needed to return. Then I heard another voice, Cassie. I slunk quickly back around the back and doing it closer. But I hear clearly, Cassie's voice and her voice took me to recognize. It was the policeman, the same policeman. Hey, what are you doing back here, policeman demanded. I was just looking for shells. This is just for full members, policeman demanded gruffly. Private business, understand? Yes, sir, I said in a humble voice. I got to work at sea enough to tell you the dog's sight is not exactly great. Everything looks like an old TV with bad colors, all blurry. The policeman was staring hard at Cassie. She's trying to be brave, but I can smell the fact she's afraid. Okay, take off, but I have my eye on you. Get back with the others. Probably because he recognizes the same girl. Cassie turned and head back as fast as she could walk. I caught up with her. I guess seeing a dog come bang out of nowhere started because she jumped. Oh, it's you. Yeah, that was close. What are you doing here? She shrugged. Just want to make sure you're okay. I was safer than you were. We got back where the others were waiting. I didn't even want to morph back to my body. I knew if I just let myself go again in a few minutes, my dog brain would forget why I was sad. If someone just threw a stick, I'd go after it. The water would make me happy. The chasing would make me happy. Now I knew I went to buy a store reluctant to leave his body. Hawk body. Being an animal was a nice way to escape all your problems. I began to morph back. Cassie and Rachel turned and took it toward the water. When I was completing myself again, I said, Marco, you're right. Tom's a controller. He didn't look happy about it. I told him what Tom said to Chapman about arguing me at the meeting. Wait a minute, Chapman's one of them too? Our Chapman? The assistant principal? I think he's some kind of leader. It was him the other night at construction site. He's the one who told the Harbinger to just keep the head. That's so Chapman, Marco said. I suggest we get the heck out of here. No, it's okay. Chapman told Tom there wouldn't be any killing at a sharing meeting. They don't want any suspicious activities. They said they couldn't go around killing every kid who might be at the site. They needed to be sure. That's decent of them. Not really. He said that for a while longer to avoid attracting attention. Once kids start turning up dead, people will definitely notice. He said they should just wait. Kids can't keep quiet for long about seeing aliens. When they talk, they'll find and get rid of them. Except we aren't going to talk about it, Rachel said. You got that right, Marguerite. We aren't seeing anything. We're forgetting everything. We're getting on our normal lives. And leave Tom like this? No way, never. He's my brother. I'm going to save him. And how do you figure you do that? He said sarcastically. Let's see, it's you versus Chapman, the cops, bunch of Harbinger and Taxtons, and worst of all, like Creep Visitor Free. All you can do is turn to a dog and bite their ankles, like being stuck in the most impossible video game ever invented. I grinned, or at least show my teeth. Yeah, kinda, but I'm pretty good at video games. And he won't be alone, Rachel said. I'm in on this too. And me, Tobias said. Me too, Cassie agreed. Swell, Marco said. Something with the Fantastic Four. This isn't a comic book. This is real. We were sound people coming for the dunes. The meeting had broken up. Everyone quiet, I said. We'll let this ride for now. I pulled Cassie aside. Listen, Cassie, I need an animal to let me watch Chapman without him seeing me. What do you have at the farm? She thought for a moment. Let me think. We got injured birds. We had the wolf with a broken leg. We have a wildcat with one eye. I wish you went on the list. Suddenly snapped her fingers. I wonder, how small do you think we can morph? I have no idea. I have something in mind. It's not really in a clinic as a patient, it just sort of lives there. It's small, crawls up walls, it's fast if you need to get away. I guess I can hear and see okay. So that's how I end up in Cassie's barn later night, crawling beneath cages of sick buzzards and between a pair of jumpy deer looking for lizards. Chapter 16. I did Monday morning in my locker in school. I turned into a lizard, a green unknown to be exact, a member of the iguana family. Like you care. I waited till the bell rang first period, which was English. When everyone was out in the hallway, I just climbed in my locker. I tried it cool just in case anyone was watching. The locker was about 2 inches shorter, so I had to crouch. It was so tight I couldn't move. The only light was from 3 small ventilation slits. I heard my heart pounding in a cramped dark space. I was afraid. It's one thing to turn a dog. I mean, it's weird, it's strange, and kind of cool. Dogs are cool, but lizards? Hey, lizards are cool too, but not as cool as dogs, I gotta admit. I should have practiced, I muttered. I really should have practiced like Cassie said. Yeah, you shoulda. I started to focus. I remembered the way we caught the lizard before. We spotted a flashlight. Cassie had put a bucket over it so it couldn't get away. It'd been fairly creepy just touching it, but now I was going to become it. The first thing I noticed, I was suddenly in a lot more room. I didn't need to crouch, and my shoulders weren't scrunched. I touched my face with one hand. My skin was looser and pebbly to the touch. I ran a hand over my head. My hair was almost gone. Things didn't happen very fast. The locker grew and grew. It was big as the barn, big as a stadium. It was like falling up a skyscraper and taking forever to hit the ground. I was standing on something sticky as large as a boulder. How the boulder got in my locker, then I realized it was a wad of gum. Damn, that's a lot smaller. An old chewed wad of gum stuck at the bottom of my locker. Gigantic drapes as big as sails of a ship were falling all around me. Those are my clothes. In a dim light, I see two monstrous misshapen things near your side. I could just make out the Nike swoosh and realize they were my shoes. The size of houses. Then the lizard brain kicked in. Fear. Trapped. Run. Run. Run and run. I shot left. A wall. I scrambled up, feel my feet stick. Trapped. I jumped back. Another heart service. Trapped. Run and run. I fought to control, but the lizard brain was panicked. Didn't know where it was. It wanted out. Out. Back toward the light. I remember by it. The ventilation slits out the way out, but the body was afraid of the light. It was terrified. I was still bouncing off the walls. I couldn't overcome the panic instincts. Go to the light, and I screamed inside my head, and suddenly I was there. I poked my head out, my body slithered after me. My tongue flicked out, and I got a weird kind of input from it, like a smell, but not quite. It kept flicking. I could see it shoot out my head, shoot out my mouth, and lick the air. In the bright light, I realized how bad lizard eyes are. I couldn't make out what I was seeing. Everything was scattered and twisted. Down was up, and up was down. Colors weren't even close to right. I try to think, come on Jake, you have eyes on the side of your head now, they don't focus, they see different things, just deal with it. I try to make sense using this knowledge, but still a mess, it took me forever to figure it out. When I was looking down the hall to the left, the other was looking in the right, I was upside down gripping a side of the locker, it was like a long gray field that wouldn't end. And all the time the green and null brain was fighting me. Now I was in a dark locker, desperately wanted to go back in. It makes sense, it probably is scared something's gonna snatch it up. So being in the dark would be pretty safe, until it gets hungry of course. Chapman's office, but where is it? Left, that way. Something is off and running. Straight down the wall, zoom! On a level floor, zoom! Around a scrap of paper twice as big as I am. The ground flew past. It was like being strapped on a crazy out-of-control missile. Then a lizard brain sensed a spider. It was a strange thing. I wasn't sure if I saw a spider, heard, or smelled it, or tasted my flicking lizard tongue, but I just knew where it was. I raced off, racing a million miles an hour before I didn't think of stopping. My legs were a blur. It probably wasn't a big spider, not if you're a human being. My lizard eyes are as big as a small child. It was huge. I could see the compound eyes, see the individual joints. I could see it clicking, awful mandibles. The spider ran, and I ran after it. I was faster. No! I screamed inside my head, but it was too late. My head jerked forward fast as a striking snake. My jaw snapped, and suddenly the spider was in my mouth. I could feel it fighting. I could feel the spider's legs squirming and fighting to get out of my mouth. I tried to spit it out, but I couldn't. The lizard's hunger for the spider was too great. I swallowed. It was like swallowing a whole canned ham. A canned ham that was fighting the entire way down. No, my cream finds core in disgust. At the same time, the lizard brain was pleased. I could feel it become calmer. That does it, I told myself. I'm out of this morph. Yeah, I feel bad for the spider myself. But at the same time, I do like the whole eating part. It's just pretty cool. I went out of this horrible little body. I didn't care who saw me. I wanted to morph back. Marco was right. It was insane to get involved in this. Insane. I heard the ground shake. It was a noise like a giant scurrying across the land. It was a giant. There was a huge shadow, like someone trying to crush me and dropping an entire building on my head. A shoe came down. I scampered left. Another one. My tail. The shoe was on my tail. I was trapped. Such as carnivory. Yeah, that's about accurate. Chapter 17. In a panic, I tried to run. My tail was caught, and suddenly I was free. How did I... Then I realized what happened. My tail had snapped off. Looking back, I saw it still trapped. It squirmed as if still alive. It wiggled like a worm on a hook. The shoe lifted and flew for the air again. I shot at the side of the wall and froze. The giant not see me. It hadn't been trying to stop me. It was an accident. Now my tail... No, the lizard's tail. The giant walked on, shaking the ground as it went. I focused one lizard eye on the figure like I was trying to make sense out of those Carnival Fun mirrors, but even so, I was pretty sure it was Chapman. I watched him head down the hall, and all my power over my lizard body to follow. I tried to think about the spider in my stomach or the fact that it still wasn't entirely dead. I tried to think about the fact that part of my body was back on the floor jerking like it was alive. I just raced along to Chapman, because he might reveal something to help Tom. I planned to follow in his office. I'd hide under his desk and listen to phone calls, so I figured sooner or later I might let something slip. Cassie and I talked about it. She said it could take days hiding in his office where he'd learn anything, besides only staying more for 2 hours, and meanwhile I'd be skipping class. Sooner or later I'd get in trouble after that. The funny thing is when I catch you skipping class, you get something persistent principal. I could just imagine a scene. I'm sorry, Mr. Chapman, but I've been in this lizard body watching you because I know you're controlling part of a giant alien conspiracy. I would have laughed, only lizards can't laugh. So I just followed him as he marched down the hall. Suddenly he stopped. Were we at his office? I tried as well as I could, but it didn't look like the office. The spider gave a kick in my stomach. He opened the door. It swung right over me in a big rush of air. It just went over my head as I hugged the floor. I concentrated on making sense of it. Wait a minute, this is a janitor's closet. I missed some mops and buckets. What was he doing? I heard a loud click. He locked the door behind him. There's a long way up from the floor, but I can more or less see him doing things at a sink faucet. I thought he grabbed one of the hooks he used to hang on the dirty mop heads. I was pretty sure he twisted as I hear a squeaking sound, and my total amazement the wall opened. It was the doorway where the hall had been. Strange smells and stranger sounds wafted up from inside the doorway. He stepped through. There were stairs to the side heading down this purple-lit pit. From far away, as if from 100 miles down, I heard a faint sound. It was a scream of fear and despair. A human voice crying in darkness at a horrible place. No, the voice moaned. No! I knew what the scream meant. I knew what was happening. Somewhere down there, human beings feeling the yerks slither inside their brain. Somewhere down there, human beings being turned into a mindless slave of the yerks. Chapman headed downstairs and the door closed after him. I'd found the yerk pool. It was right under my school. Chapter 18? Screams, I said. Human screams. Not far, but that's what they were. My friends looked at me, all but Margot looked away. It was the same afternoon right after school. We'd all gone to the mall. We figured it was the best way not to look suspicious. No one thinks there's anything weird about kids hanging together at the mall. We're at the table of the food court sharing some nachos. Ever since eating a desire to consume lots of junk food to help me forget. You're a lizard at a time, Margaret pointed out. Who knows what you heard? I know. I can't stand the thought what's happening to people down there, Cassie said. She shuddered. It's sickening. We have to do something. Yeah, let's rush down there, as Margaret said. Then it can be us screaming. I realized I lost my appetite for nachos. Margaret, you can't just ignore what's going on, Rachel said. Sure I can. All I'll do is remind myself that, hey, guess what? I don't want to die. That's it then, Rachel demanded, outraged. Whatever's best for Marco. I don't think Marco's being selfish, Cassie said. Just the opposite. He's thinking of his father. And what happened to his dad, Marco... He's not the only one who has people to worry about, Rachel said. I have a family. We all do. Not me, Tobias said softly. He smiled this sad, crooked smile. It's true. No one gives a rat's rear about me. I do, Rachel said. I was surprised to hear her say that. She wasn't exactly sentimental. Look, I'm not asking anyone to go with me, but I don't have a choice. I heard that scream. I know Tom's going down there at night. He's my brother. I have to try and save him. I held my hands helpless. I have to do it. For Tom. I go there with you, Tobias said, for the Andalite. There's no one else who can do anything to stop the yerks, Rachel said. I'm scared to death just thinking about it, but I'm there. Marco looked sick. He gave me a dirty look. He shook his head. This is bad. This is so bad. I went for Tom. I'd walk away. Look, Marco, you don't have to... Oh, shut up, he snapped. You're my best friend, you jerk. Like I'm gonna let you face this alone? I'm in. I'm in to rescue Tom. And that's it. Then I'm done. Only Cassie remained silent. She was looking dreamily at the heads of the mall crowd. You know, back in the old days, I mean the real old days, the Africans, the early Europeans, Native Americans all believed animals had spirits. And they called those spirits protect them from evil. They asked the spirit of the fox for his cunning and the eagle for his sight. They asked the lion for his strength. I guess they're doing a sort of basic, even if it was technology made it possible. We're just scared little humans trying to borrow the mind of a fox and the eyes of an eagle. Or a hawk, she said, smiling at Tobias. And the strength of a lion, just like thousands of years ago. We're calling on animals to protect us from evil. Will that be enough, I wondered? I don't know, Cassie said solemnly. It's like all the basic forces of planet Earth are brought into battle. Margaret rolled his eyes. Nice story, Cassie. We're still just fighting over kids up against the yerks. If it was a football game, who would you bet on? We're toast. Don't be so sure, Cassie said. We're all fighting for Mother Earth. She has some tricks up her sleeve. Good grief, Margaret said. Let's just go hug some trees then. We all laughed, including Cassie. Cassie's right about one thing, Rachel said seriously. The only thing we are going for is this animal morphing thing. So far, the only morphs we have are a bird, a cat, a dog, horse, and a lizard. I think we need a little more firepower. We should head to the gardens. We need to acquire some DNA from the animals. From animals it's not going to be easy to acquire. I nodded. I didn't think the hawk, horse, and lizard team was going to impress the yerks. Rachel's right. I think we need to head to the gardens. We can get some help from Mother's toughest children. Oh, to Cassie. Can you get us in? I get us in for free. You guys have to pay, but I use my mom's employee discount so it'll be cheaper. Oh, I'm sure we can talk to them and let us in for nothing, and Margaret said. Just tell them we're the Animorphs. Tell them we're what? Idiot teenagers with a death wish. Animorphs. I tried to word out. It's not okay.